So, good evening everyone. My name is Guilherme Salgado Alves. And have you ever stopped to think about how many lies people tell each other every day? On average, people tell two lies each day, according to a recent study. But the accuracy of that number depends, of course, on whether people in the study were lying or not. So let's explore this idea a bit further. We always think about the effect of lies on other people and how harmful we can be for those around us. But have you ever wondered how many lies do you tell yourself every single day? You know, those little stories that we create in order to convince ourselves to do or not to do something that we consider unpleasant. This process is called self-deception, and it consists of deceiving our brains into believing a story or fact that consciously we know it's false, but unconsciously we believe in order to feel our brain's need to an excuse. So let me give you an example of self-deception which I recently observed about myself. It was a Monday night and I was getting ready to go to the gym. I'm gonna be honest with you in saying that I wasn't thrilled about going to work out, but I was going anyway. As I was getting ready to leave, I noticed it had just begun to rain. I instantly thought how I should not be on the rain because it might cause me to get a cold or maybe have an accident on the wet roads. In reality, it was just my brain creating every excuse possible for me not to have to spend my precious energy at the gym. Or maybe when writing and preparing for this speech, when facing all the pressure and the deadlines, I sometimes thought, do I really need to do it? But as I stopped and pondered my feelings, I realized that I was actually being given a great opportunity to develop my speaking skills and spread ideas and points of view, which is obviously worth it. Above all, I became aware of the importance of creating and nurturing my own positive habits that help me pursue my dream. Habits that can help me become the truest version of myself. And that's the essence of my message. Through my speech, I would like us to reflect upon our habits. Are they bringing us closer to achieving our dreams or pushing us further away? So let's take a step back and observe a situation more logically, in the long term. These excuses that we create today eventually become habits. It starts to be part of our routines in every aspect of our lives. And then, lying to ourselves starts to be the normal choice. Whether our daily choices are good or bad is irrelevant. But what's imperative to realize is that we become bound to our decisions by an idea called the force of the habit. So, simply put, you can create an excuse not to go to the gym today, and everything will be great. You stay home, catch up some television, and spend absolutely no effort that night. But what about 6 months later, when you realize that you have been creating more excuses than actually participating actively in your life? You won't see any physical results that you are striving for, but you'll see the real truth. So this idea of self-deception can also be applied to more important aspects of someone's life. Take a career choice, for example. Should someone pursue a career because of passion, or because they would be respected and admired by friends, family, and society in general? You know, I'm not here to answer that question, but I'm here because I truly believe that introspection and honesty are a pathway to happiness. Even though the truth is infinitely slower than a lie, it will always come to light. At some moment during our lives, our suppressed dreams will float to the surface of our consciousness, because lies are not an endless path. So the idea of lying to oneself is not unique to you, or me, or anyone else. Everybody does it when they feel they need to explain or justify a failure or setback. Or maybe when we are just too afraid of leaving our comfort zones. But the problem is that, in the long term, it impedes us from feeling and participating in lots of great things during our lives, just because we are too afraid. So a possible solution to that is greater self-understanding. Having knowledge of what motivates you and what scares you is essential to understanding who you really are. We must be humble and kind to ourselves when we realize that we are participating in self-deception. And there is no problem with that. We just gotta solve it. So remember that recognizing when all of this is happening is the first step to changing these deceitful habits. When we realize the real meaning of our thoughts, our lies lose power. We deprive them of the oxygen they need to survive, and we begin paving a pathway to the endurance of the truth. Thank you very much.
feels lies in a pretty bad eye nowadays, right? Do you think that should change? Do you think society should see lies in a different light?
I actually don't think so. Of course, there are those white lies that we all know that sometimes are necessary, but I believe that lies in general, especially the lies we tell ourselves, are our biggest enemy. When we can't even understand what we are thinking, what are our objectives, what are our routines, and our habits, the pathway to our dreams, the way everything we want to do will be more difficult because we don't have a clear view on what we exactly want. So these lies may be very harmful for ourselves especially. As for society in general, of course, there's no question about that. But I believe that there shouldn't be a change on the way we see lies. We shouldn't see lies in a good way. We just should see lies affecting different people as we are usually used to see, you know? So that's what I think. Thank you for your question.
Another question?
Just wait for the okay. She's the ruler, of course. Are all excuses lies, or are all lies excuses?
Wow, that's a very good question. So, I would say all excuses are lies. Because we are usually trying to stay in our comfort zones. And as some people, even some research would say, the other side of fear is absolutely bliss. So when we lie to people, when we create excuses to people, they are majority lies. Because, so I would say that excuses are, all excuses are lies because we are just trying to avoid leaving our comfort zones. We don't actually mean what we say. We're just afraid. No. So that's what I believe.
Thank you.
Thank you.